Hi everyone, Senan this side, and in this video we're going to solve this LeetCode daily problem, which is divide players into teams of equal skill. Before we get started, I just want you guys to know that the whole PDF of the solution is provided in the description below. Just click on the GitHub link and you'll get this PDF there. So let's get started with the problem itself. Okay, divide player into teams of equal skill. You are given a positive integer array skill of even length. So it is even, that is given, where skill I denotes the skill of the ith player. Okay, divide the player into n by 2 teams of size 2 such that the total skill of each team is equal. The chemistry of a team is equal to the product of the skills of the players on that team. Return the sum of chemistry of all the teams, or return -1 if there is no way to divide the players into teams such that the total skill of each team is equal. The very brute force way what you could do is generate all possible pairs, see if the sum of all pairs is equal, like 1 and 5 here, 2 and 4 and 3 and 3, all of them sum to 6, and then you basically calculate the chemistry. Okay, but that is not how we are going to proceed in this. The other way could be you could actually sort the list and the end elements are in a single team. Why? We'll see that a bit later on. So before anything, how many teams do we have? We have n by 2 teams and size 2, such that the total skill of each team is equal. So if total skill of each team is equal, so if I sum all the elements of the array, what I get is total skill is equal to what? Number of teams times skill of each team. Now I know skills of the players on that team is same for everyone, and I have the number of teams and I have total skill. So since I can sum all the elements in the list to get this total skill, I get the number of elements in this list, divide that by 2, I would get number of teams, so I can figure out the skill of each team. So the skill level of each team, I can figure that out. So given this list, I can figure out that the skill of each team is 6. How? Number of elements is what? And this is 6. So this number is 6. What is the total skill? Total skill is what? 3 plus 2, 5, plus 5 is 10, plus 4 is 14, plus 4 is 18. So 18 by 6 is what? 18 by 6 is 3. So this is 3, and so this is 18, and this is 3. Number of teams is 3 because 6 elements, so 6 by 2 is number of teams, which is 3, and total skill is 18. 18 by 3 is 6, which is equal to the skill of each team. Yep. Okay, so you can figure that out. And if you see in the solution, I got the number of elements, I got the number of teams, and I calculated the sum of all the elements in that list, and I figured out skills per team is total skills by number of teams. Now, for some case, if total skill modulo number of teams, if it is not dividable or divisible, I mean to say, if it is not divisible, that means this is a non-zero value. So in that case, I return 1 because that means I cannot divide the players into teams. So this part is something that I have explained, right? Using this is the idea. Now what I do is to keep track of the number of all the elements in this list. And since I need to improve the complexity, what I could do is I could use a map for searching the element. Now, the idea that I'm going to use now is that I know that the number of pairs in this, right, is what? This is given, number of pairs is given. So let's say if I have this 3, right? If I have this 3, I know what is the next skill. I have the idea what is the next player's skill. So if I have 3, so 6 minus 3 is 3, which is here. If I have 2, right? If I have 2, so 2 plus 4, so 6 minus 2 is 4. So that is the element here, and 5 and 1 similarly. And I can figure out the number of teams. If I have an element, I can find the corresponding member of that team. So that is the idea. Okay, so what I do is I go through the list, right? Initially I go through the list and count the number of frequency of each and every element. You can get the frequency from this. So after that, what I do is I figure out the element and the skill. So I again traverse this list of skills and find their corresponding pair, which is skills per team minus element. And if this is true, if I have this element as well as I have the remainder, so I have both of these pairs, what I could do is I can increment my answer to element star remainder, and I can decrement both the values. But for some reason, if this is there, I have an element but I don't have the corresponding pair, so in that case I return -1. So that is the idea, and in the end you return the answer. So question is quite straightforward. Now there is a small issue, although you can find one. There's a small issue in this, and I want you guys to figure that out. And this, since this solution was accepted, I'll show you when you submit this. Since this is accepted, so the test cases are not exactly the way you want them to be, but this works, right? So similarly, the same solution is in the GitHub link provided in the description below. The time and space complexity is big O of n, because in the worst case you would store all the elements in this list to this map. That's big O of n. What's the time complexity? Time is, for this accumulate function, is big O of n. For this for loop, big O of n, and for this skill is, it's again big O of n, because this is a constant time operation. So big O of 3n, which is big O of n, and in the end you return the answer. So time complexity and space complexity is big O of n, both of them, and yep, that is my solution. So that is the whole video. Hope I was able to explain this to you, and I'll see you in the next one.